This guide will help you improve your Fortnite play. It is designed to help in multiple aspects, starting off with the general things such as basic building and combat, then moving on to combative play and positioning. Lastly would be building fights focusing on speed and efficiency. While emphasizing important techniques to improve building, these aspects are not ranked in any specific order of importance, meaning that building is not necessarily less important than combat, and vice versa. However, these aspects are in this specific order make them work cohesively.
In the Fortnite community, there are many types of players, but the three main ones are the builder, the combat, and the hybrid. The builder is a player who is the most proficient with the building aspect of the game. They use their building skills and knowledge to outperform and outmaneuver their opponents. The combat player is a player who relies more on their aiming skills and combat skills to win games. They usually play the game more like a first-person shooter than a third-person survival game. The hybrid player is someone who combines techniques from both the builder and the combat player. They build and fight, which provides a wider variety of actions. This can prove more beneficial because of the amounts of situations they can emerge from. The majority of the best players play with this style. Materials are incredibly important because it enables players to maneuver around easier and access areas that require building. Almost everything in the map is destroyable and will give a player materials, although some things give more materials than others. There are three types of materials: wood, brick, and metal. Trees and pallets give the most wood, rocks give the most brick, and meteors give the most metal.
When gathering materials, a blue circle will appear. If a player hits the blue circle, then the player will deal 100 damage to the object instead of 50. Use this technique to destroy and gather materials faster while creating noise for a shorter amount of time.
This clip is demonstrating third-person peeking. This is a technique that takes advantage of how the camera is set up in the game. So basically, when I loot this chest, I'm gonna get a big shield, and I pick up the big shield and I kind of go around a corner, and I'm kind of behind the wall, but the camera also enables me to see out into the open in the forest there, even though I'm still behind cover.
In Fortnite, all weapons are mounted on the player's right side. That means that peeking on the right side is safer, since your gun is exposed but most of your body is still behind cover. Peeking on the left side exposes more of your body in order to shoot the target, as you can see.
Okay, so soon after that first fight, I was walking around and I see someone break a tree. This is why you should break trees and leave them at 50 health, otherwise other players can see the trees break and they'll know where you are. This following clip is a reason why you should cut your trees to 50 health. So basically, I destroyed this tree all the way and all like the bark and leaves fall, and then the person up front on the top left kind of sees it. So I run over to this building to third person peek, and I see that he's slowly advancing, and I kind of just remain behind this building and keep third person peeking. So I just want to see what's going on. He fires a rocket, so I kind of have to move, otherwise my building is exploding. I try and ramp rush and put walls in front, but I keep messing up, and this eventually leads to my death.
When going down a steep slope, the player will typically slide down. This prevents fall damage for a small slope. However, this technique won't be enough for bigger slopes because the player will accelerate fast enough to take damage. A player can prevent this by building a floor or ramp above after sliding for a bit. This will stop the player from sliding, then the player can jump off the floor or ramp and continue sliding. Repeat this until you're at the bottom of the slope.
This is a really quick clip that demonstrates the use of pyramids. Most people don't use these because there's kind of no use to them. But one good use they have is providing cover for healing and using very little resources. So basically, place down a pyramid, edit it so it looks kind of like a ramp or stair, and then edit it back like this, and now you're inside the pyramid. So now I'm going to go ahead and heal up with a shield potion, and I'm under cover. So after I finish healing up with the shield potion, all I have to do is edit the pyramid again, like this. So it turns back into a ramp stair thing, and then I can exit.
Right now we'll demonstrate that how fall damage works in this game. So at approximately 3.5 to 4 blocks tall, you will take fall damage. As you'll see right now at just over 3, and you jump, you will take 0 fall damage. Okay, now we'll go back to the top and demonstrate what happens at 4. So at 4 blocks, you will take 18 damage, which not that bad, but it can be add up if you're in the middle of a fight or you're doing something else. So when building up with ramps and you want to change direction, you can build a wall to the side and then build another ramp on top of that and continue to go up a different direction. And you can repeat this multiple different ways. Ramp rushing involves building a consecutive chain of ramps in an attempt to rush your opponent. There are many types of ramp rushes, but the most basic one is called the single ramp rush. This involves building a single wide chain of ramps without any extra supports. This is a fast and simple way to rush your opponent, and it is conservative with materials. However, this kind of ramp rush is very easy to shoot down. So ramping with walls is used to protect the ramp while rushing opponents. Opponents have to shoot down the wall first in order to shoot down the entire ramp. This can be done with single wide ramps or double ramps. However, this technique uses materials quickly, so be sure to judge whether you need to do this technique. So there's 2 versions of double ramping, vertical and horizontal, but right now we'll demonstrate the horizontal version. This is done by placing a ramp side by side, so it creates a 2 wide structure. This technique is good for rushing players because the structure is too wide, making it much harder to shoot down. However, these techniques use materials quickly, so be sure to judge whether you need to do this technique.
So as you can see in the footage shown, even if one of the ramps is broken like this, the ramp is still up in the air because there's still another ramp supporting it. This clip is demonstrating ramp rushing, but using floor panels. This is typically used when your opponent is significantly higher than you and you need to protect from above. So basically you build ramps, but also floors on top of you, and then you edit the floor so there's a hole for you to run through.
Right now I'll demonstrate what a shoot block is. This is basically when you jump off a structure, shoot, and then build something right below you in order to block your opponent's fire, but you're able to get your shot off.
This clip here is gonna demonstrate double ramping with walls. So I do a double ramp and I place walls in front. So basically this technique is really hard to shoot down because you have to shoot through walls and ramps, and you have to do that twice in order to bring down the structure. So for this next clip, we're going to demonstrate what a horizontal shoot block is. Basically, I'm going to jump, shoot, and immediately place a wall. And the theory behind this is I'll catch my opponent by surprise, shoot him, and place a wall that will absorb the shot that's coming from him. So I'll deal damage to him, but he'll just deal damage to my wall. In this clip, I'll demonstrate a very useful tactic called the edit peek. Edit peek involves building a wall or structure and then entering edit mode to edit that structure. After entering edit mode, select a whole bunch of blue tiles and hopefully they'll become clear. So now you can see in front of you without those blurry blue tiles. Even though it looks like there's nothing ahead of you, there's actually still a wall, so you'll be able to look out while still behind cover. This clip is going to demonstrate how boxing up works and different ways boxing ups can be used. So right now I'm going to demonstrate how to exit a box. It's really quick. You just go to one of the walls and edit a triangle and then you can just pop out the side. So this next clip is going to demonstrate edit peeking when you're inside a box. So right now you can sort of see outside, but there's like wood blocking you. But if you go into edit mode and you select all the blue tiles, they'll turn clear and then you can see outside. And even though it looks like there's nothing there, the actual wall is still there, so you'll be protected. And the final thing I'll show you with boxing up is how to exit through the top. So basically edit the floor panel above you, cut it in half, and you can rush out with ramps. You can do it regular with no walls in front, or you can do double ramps with walls in front. Anything really, just it depends on the situation. So in connection with exiting through the top of the box, I'm going to demonstrate how to counter that. So right now, I'm actually going to be the opponent outside of the box, and say that's my opponent's box right there. Right now he could exit through the top, right? So how to counter that is you place a pyramid on top. So even if he exits and edits the floor panel, he cannot edit my pyramid, and the only way he can get through that is to break the pyramid. So by the time he starts breaking the pyramid, I would have detected that he's breaking the pyramid, and I'll prepare to counter it.
Many players still play this game without actively knowing that people can edit structures. I mean actively knowing in the sense that people know it exists, but a lot of people forget about it until they see it. This technique is based around the fact that editing will catch an enemy off guard, because most games require players to go around structures to find another way to their desired position. However, in this game you do not. Edit shooting involves edit peeking, then actually editing to shoot your opponent. First edit peek to find out where your enemy is, then actually edit something so the structure changes, typically a window. Then shoot your opponent, then you have the option of re-editing the structure back to a solid face with a hole, or you don't have to. It's similar to just shoot block technique in the sense that you'll shoot your opponent and they will just shoot your structure. The emote tactic involves both the edit peek and the edit shoot. Basically do the same thing as the edit shoot, except instead of editing then shooting straight away, edit then do an emote with the edit still ready. Hopefully this will make your opponent less cautious. The opponent might start healing or even do an emote in reply. This is your moment to strike. About a second after they start to heal or emote, complete this edit and shoot. This look should catch your enemy off guard. Typically most players won't re-edit back into the solid face again. This is because the emote tactic should give you the first shot and the first chance of dealing damage. This is a good time to finish off your opponent since they were caught off guard, and most likely have to switch back to their weapon.
This clip shows how to exit your box when your opponent is on top of you. So basically edit a hole to go out of and then double ramp upward. After a while do a reverse by placing two walls and then another ramp, and then continuing forward with your ramps. And now you've gone in the opposite direction and higher. Hopefully this will catch your opponent off guard and now you'll have the high ground.
Right now I'll demonstrate how to build a 1x1 base. This is done by placing 4 walls around you and jumping up and placing a ramp, and then building 4 walls around you again. You can do this placing ramps below you, placing walls, jumping up to the ramp, and repeating this process. And you should do this up to 4 blocks high. Over 4 you will take fall damage. Another thing to do is when you're looking for a player about to shoot, you can crouch when you're up at the top of your base, and then uncrouch to shoot right away to leave less of your body covered for a very little amount of time.
This is my first ever fight while playing Fortnite on PC, and we're just gonna walk through what I did good and bad. So right off the bat, I tried to build shelter, which is good. I couldn't get onto my building though, so I couldn't build fast enough and he phased through my wall. And the rest of this is just me having really bad aim, and it was like 2 noobs fighting each other, so like enjoy. Basically, I just have to improve my building and my aim, as you can see. So eventually I do kill this guy, and after I do that, I'm gonna walk you through what I'm thinking when I'm looting him. Right, so right off the bat, he drops minis. I automatically pick those up. There's also traps, ammos, all the consumable stuff that don't require inventory slots I should try and pick up. There is a golden semi-auto, but I prefer the bolt action since bolt action can one-shot people, whereas the semi-auto takes multiple shots. I also need a shotgun. However, this shotgun has 0 ammo, but I'm confident that later on I'll get shotgun ammo, and that's why I kept the shotgun. So now the following is a clip of a real fight. So I get shot at, I quickly turn around and build walls. This is the first thing you should do when you're getting shot at, is you quickly build shelter for yourself. I turn around and I build 2 walls to finish off my base. I see that he's ramping, so I shoot out the bottom, and then he starts to box up. I jump down, and I want to finish him with my shotgun. I should have stayed up here, but I jumped down again, and then I lose the shotgun fight. So what I should have done is stayed up top and waited to see where he is. Then I could have executed a shoot block. Okay job of building and staying covered. I should have built a floor panel. So right now I'm just at Moisty Mire looting up, and I go higher so I can have a look around, and I see someone to my bottom right, and I accidentally drop down. Luckily he doesn't see me, or he ran away, so I hit him with a good burst, and then I hit him with another headshot. He runs to cover, so I try and get the high ground like this. Then he starts shooting, so I build walls, and I just keep protecting myself like this. He stops shooting like this, so I rush in and I want to finish him off. I see him ramping to the side of me, so I pull out my shotgun and I finish him off.